Hello everyone, welcome to the When It Worked podcast. You're with the host Julian Leahy. Today I'm joined by the fantastic Alexandra Renders. Welcome to the show, Alexandra.
Thank you. So nice to be here.
Alexandra just found out we're going to play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and she did not bat an eyelid, which is pretty good.
Here we go.
All right, let's get the board up. And you got 3 lifelines, Alexandra. Make sure you use them. You can ask me for a clue to a 50-50 split or have 30 seconds to Google. First question for Alexandra Renders.
Oh, okay.
As seen in countless movie plots, what government agency oversees the Witness Protection Program? FBI, US Marshals, CIA, or Homeland Security?
Oh, wow. This is so good because I never watch movies. So, I would say US Marshals.
That's correct.
Okay.
As seen in online videos, a person can create soda gazes by combining Diet Coke with which of these? Baking soda, salt.
Baking soda.
Are you sure?
Do
Do you have any young kids?
Yeah,
That watch?
no, I did. I did. I know baking soda with vinegar.
Yeah, but Diet Coke.
Geysers.
Let's use a lifeline.
Huh?
I used a lifeline for you. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
Go with, I go with Mentos because it just seemed weird, you know.
Mentos is correct. Well done. We did use a lifeline. You got 2 left. As seen on tax refunds from the IRS, checks issued by the US Treasury feature what American landmark? White House, Statue of Liberty, Lincoln Memorial, Washington Monument.
Interesting because I don't get refunds. This is going to be a guess because I don't think I've ever had a refund. I would say Washington Monument.
Washington Monument, as a guess, is incorrect, unfortunately. It doesn't actually tell us the correct answer either, which is weird.
What is it?
I don't know. We'll have to find out later. On this version, I can't find out. All right, let's have a round of applause for Alexandra Renders. Tried your best, but it was a tough question. If you don't get refunds, anyway.
No.
All right, now
And anyway, if you do, it's going to go straight to your bank account now anyway.
Yeah, you don't really see checks. Well, some of these questions are a little bit old. All right, now tell us a little bit about what you're up to. You've got is it an investment fund, and it's kind of focused on women. Do you want to tell us a bit about that?
Okay, it's not focused on women. It's focused on everyone. I serve both males, females, individuals, corporations, nonprofits, and things like that.
Where did I get the idea that it was women focused? Did you have something else? Women-based enterprise, WBE.
Oh, because I'm a woman-owned enterprise. So I was a B Corp. I was women-owned, meaning I'm 100% owner of the company. And that's a very unusual in my industry. First of all, it's very unusual to have women own investment companies. And all it is just it's a designation as a woman-owned industry. Doesn't serve women, but it's just woman-owned. So it's a very unusual thing in our industry. So it gets recognized.
So are you like a financial planner, or how does it work?
Okay, so I'm not a financial planner. I'm actually, the way you have to look at the way our company is, a lot of people will have a retirement account and they put their money into a 401k, and then that 401k they select mutual funds. And those mutual funds are managed by a group of people. Well, I own a company that does that individual management, buying stocks, bonds, cash, and things. I'm an economist, okay? And I determine where we are in the economic cycle. And depending upon where we are in the economic cycle, I have to make a decision how I'm going to invest our clients' funds. So a lot of financial planners would use our platform to manage their clients' funds.
Yeah, so we have a thing in Australia called self-managed super, but you guys call it 401k. Is it like that? Like it's allowing people to self-manage their 401k, but
No,
you do it.
we
Okay.
manage. Yeah. So like basically, like let's say, Julian, you say, I have 500 or $1 million and I want to know like what to do. You bring it to us and I say, okay, what's your investment objective? I work with you. You're like, well, I want to retire in 10 years. Okay. So then I make a decision. Okay. Well, then that means I could be a little bit more aggressive with him. And so then I will go ahead. My training is literally buying and selling stocks and bonds and, foreign securities and currencies and things like that. I actually have the experience of buying the individual investments themselves. So that's what we do. We actually manage the account ourselves. We don't put it into mutual funds with Vanguard and none of that. We do it ourselves in-house. It's very different. It's very specific training versus a financial advisor.
Yep. And financial advisors sometimes, because they get commissions on the products that they sell you. So, not all of them. What happened with the markets after the Trump episode?
The markets rallied, even prior to the Trump episode, the markets rallied because it basically, how do I put this? It was reacting to the Fed not lowering interest, like potentially lowering interest rates. And that's food for the markets. That's fodder. The markets love this.
Yeah.
Lower interest rates.
Cheap
So
money.
that's the Yeah, cheap money. And I think the markets also did. I think there is a sentiment that people do feel that Trump is going to get reelected. And that would be, at least in the temporary frame, a positive for the markets from what we see.
Yeah, interesting. And so what types of people can use your service? Because a lot of jobs, they have like an industry 401k. Is that right? And everybody who works there basically uses that service. Can all people opt to, say, use your service, or do they have to have a bit more independence with their job situation?
No, they can use our service. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. And what are some of the benefits of, using somebody who's not like a massive multinational fund, whereas using someone independent, I guess you have a lot more say in where the money goes, and you can easily talk to somebody. Is that some of the benefits?
Yeah, I mean, they are talking directly to the people who are managing the money. So, like, if you're working with a mutual fund, you don't know the people who are managing the money. You don't know how much experience they actually have, because when you look at the prospectus, it will usually say management team. It won't list the number of years that those people have in the industry. I've been in the industry 38 years. I successfully navigated the tech bubble and the financial crisis. I have a lot of years of experience. I worked on the floor of the exchange. I have been trained by some really smart people in the 80s. We actually sat in a room with bond traders, who I think are some of the smartest people. They know how to read credit. They know when things get stressed. And if you know something about the markets, they really respond to the amount of capital in the system and how easy money is and money supply. And the bond traders really have a good understanding of that. So I had really good exposure there. So the difference really is that, who you're talking to. I can very easily go through and explain what we're doing, why we're doing it.
Yeah, and you don't have to ring up the 1-800 number or whatever you have over in America and get onto some rep
Exactly.
who you don't even know. And what's happening currently? What are you looking at currently in terms of the way the market's going? What's some good areas? What's some bad areas?
So I just want to make sure everyone knows that this isn't investment advice, and I want to make sure when is this going to get posted?
Right now, it's live.
Right now. Hi everyone. everyone. So I really can't give investment advice, and so what I'm just saying is just a broad stroke, and I think that's really the best way to handle this.
Yeah.
So from our perspective, and from my perspective, I think we're rounding we think we're in a period of reverse stagflation. And essentially what that is a period where the cost of necessities are going higher. And there's nothing that the feds around the globe, the bankers around the globe can do to change that situation. And there's a number of reasons I feel this is happening, but the primary reason, and it was very predictable.
Can I just jump in? So, normal stagflation is where you've got inflation plus high unemployment. Is that right? Like,
correct.
so what's the reverse?
Reverse stagflation, it's a term I came up with. So what it is if you look, it's not playing out like normal stagflation. Okay, so we think that there's great underemployment, especially I know in the United States. So many people have to have two jobs to make it. And this is even before inflation started to tick up. Okay, we see the gap between those who have and those who do not widening. It's increasing.
Yeah.
That's predictable that there's going to be civil unrest in a situation like that, because the wider the gap goes, the greater the potential for disruption. Now, in an environment like that, what we see happening is, so it may not be the typical low employment, though we think underemployment is real because it includes not being paid enough. And that was
Gotcha.
before inflation came. 2 jobs to 1. Yeah, I need to just make up for partial what you have. So, and then, so we have that taking place at the same time as the price of the things that we absolutely need, like energy, like food, like healthcare, that is going up in price. Not necessarily the things we don't need, like I don't need this. I don't have to have more pairs of socks, it's like that. So the things that you don't have to have, those aren't necessarily going up in price, but the things you have to have. And that's what I'm calling reverse stagflation, meaning it's not showing up the typical way that stagflation would show up. But you can ask anyone. I mean, here in the United States, you ask them, they're struggling. Middle class is being decimated here.
Yeah.
Decimated. And now it's moved to the upper middle class. And now it's going to hit the higher upper middle class and the lower, the higher wealth. And it's, in bottom line, it's Julian, it's policy. It's policy. And we have a situation here where it isn't demand-oriented stagflation or a demand-oriented issue. It's a supply issue. And we haven't had a supply issue in many decades.
Yeah. When you say supply issue, are you talking about monetary supply or?
Talking about, like look at the disruption with the boats, with cargo right now, and the amount of terrorism that's taking place, and the fact that these boats now have to go through in a longer route because they're having problems with Panama, with the canal there. But we have a lot of geopolitical tension. This affects all of us. So, and so that supply issue is there. And one of the things that I know is once companies get a whiff of being able to raise prices, they have a good time with that. It's like a domino effect.
Yeah, like they go above and beyond covering the increase in their costs because people seem to just be able to get away with it, I suppose. Yeah, so there's a bit of stress out there, and people need to start. So, are you looking at more conservative investment options in light of all of this?
Yeah, essentially. And I have to tell you, I'd be happy to come on to your show at another time, Julie, and then go into a little bit more detail. But there are reasons I can't do that right now because I'm dealing with some things from a registration perspective. But I would be very happy to come on and be much more specific if we can do this in another month. I can give lots of detail that I can't do today.
Yeah, understandable.
Yeah.
You've got to be careful what you say with the SEC
Hmm.
and all of that. But the
Yeah.
best thing you could do is probably, if you want to have a chat to Alexandra about your 401k, you can do so. And what's the URL? It's Willow.
It's now you can go to investwithwillow.com.
Investwithwillow.com. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
cool. And
Yeah.
they can have a chat with you and work out a strategy going forward that's going to put all those eggs safely away in some baskets.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, thanks very much, Alexandra. That was interesting to talk about
Thank you,
economics and other things.
Julian. Very happy to be here. And like I said, I would really be happy to come on in another like 30 days or 40 days so I can give a lot more detail. I just have to get the clearance.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
We'll get you back on. All right. Awesome. Let's have a round
Okay.
of applause for Alexandra Renders.
Have
Thanks.
a wonderful day, Julian. Thank you.
Thanks, Alexandra. Thanks, everyone. See you next time. Bye.
See you.